whatever happened to having just conversations for the sake of having conversations and having dialogue? And like, if I'm wrong about something, or if I have a different opinion than you, why can't we just discuss that? Or maybe if it's too sensitive, just put that to the side. Why does everything have to be about proving yourself to be right or smart or more interesting or more funny? Like, how is it like not the vast majority of humanity that's just like, isn't it weird that I go to a gym, do you know what I mean, to build muscle? I have to go on an app to find the love of my life? Don't even try to sell me on that. That will never work. I'd rather be single for the rest of my life than use a dating app. That's a lie. I've used dating apps before, but like, I really don't fucking want to. They're just so unnatural and just like, ugh, like, why do I feel like there's ants all over my body? That's not pleasant. Anyway, so yeah, so my whole thing from that was like, we are literally trained like animals from the get-go, because we are animals. We are literally, like, I think that everybody forgets this like like common knowledge information, that human beings, although we don't crawl on all fours and live in the wild and, you know, have obviously consciousness, when you're comparing yourself to somebody else, in your mind, you want to win that comparison game, right? That you've made up in your own head. You want to be the winner of that comparison game. And that is what a lot of people do when they have conversations with you. They try to win. They try to be the smarter one. They try to be the funnier one. They try to be the prettier one if they have that like ability to kind of go and come back and like put in a little bit more effort into their appearance and be the more attractive one. And that's probably more pertaining to women, I think, in the society. Animal Planet, and you see the lions like on top of the woman. So it's like, oh, but humans do that. That's called doggy style. All right, I don't know why we call it doggy style, but that's literally, we have a position for that. Terrible shit happening everywhere in the world, and that's as a result of who? Humans. So I actually don't know if we're the most intelligent, but my whole thing is like, human beings as a species, we're obviously the more intelligent species, but then that kind of, I don't like, not to all the extent in my opinion, because we lack so much empathy as a species that I don't care if we like created telephones and AI and fucking have gotten ourselves to space. What does that matter at all when we still have poverty by the millions and famine and war and fuck, like everything that's happening in Palestine and in Ukraine? And as a species, we are animals. We are animalistic. We go to the bathroom. I don't know if anyone thinks about that on a daily basis, because I know I do. Peeing and pooping is a very animalistic thing that we do every single day. Sex, I don't know how society and the world convinced the vast majority of people to view sex as something so like just casual. You're literally getting naked with another human being. And like, think of the Avatar scene. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what we're doing. Obviously, we're not blue and we don't have tails, but we are just as much animals as they are. I don't care that I have a roof over my head. I don't care that I'm recording this on a device that was made by human beings. We are still animals at the end of the day. We might be the more progressive animals, but not in every department, in my opinion. But we are still animals at the end of the day. We are also trained as fresh, like empty slate animals, babies, to know how to like poop into a toilet and how to eat from a spoon and how to like speak a language. Oh, that was a little far. See, that was also animalistic of me. Like, I don't know why people are like, we're human beings. What do you mean? Like, they're the animals, we're the humans. Babes, you're an animal too. I don't know who convinced you otherwise, but you're literally an animal. Like, way back, ancestors were like hunting animals and carrying shit, and that's how they got muscles. I'm going to a gym right now. I'm gonna use a dumbbell. I literally always say to my friends, I'm like, men are like dogs. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. I know it sounds that way, but I mean it more in like a comparison way of like, men are like dogs in the sense that they have to be trained. The same way that I don't know why I had to say it like that. Women also, you can put in that comparison, are like dogs and need to be trained. But the difference is that women have actually been trained since birth or childhood to do a lot more things and have that pressure of being a certain kind of a woman versus men, when they had so many things slide because men develop later than women, boys will be boys, you know, all that kind of bullshit. And then men did not grow up actually having been trained, right? And a lot of the things that I haven't even been trained to, I still was trained sort of by force to understand that if I wasn't going to take care of myself and sort of train myself to get to the places I needed to get to, nobody was going to do it for me. So I already had this pre-instilled training of realizing, okay, nobody's going to train me to do that, so I got to train myself. Like, I literally had been trained to self-train. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But because women, a lot of the times, the thing we are conditioned to compare ourselves in regards to other women with or about is our appearance, is our bodies, is our faces, our hairs, our makeup, our skin, whatever the thing is, right? It's like the physical thing. With men, I think it's like different. It's probably more oriented around money and how many women they slept with and cars and sports cars and shit like that, like materialistic shit or whatever the thing is. It's like people are constantly comparing, and as a result of the constant comparison to others, they are as a result trying to prove themselves in this like comparison game to be the winner, right? That's what ultimately we're always doing, right? Women are actually trained a lot more than men in our world, in our society. So when men grow up and become adults and have to function independently, they don't know how. They don't know how. They do the bare minimum to get by, most of them, right? But not everyone. Not all men can even get to the bare minimum of surviving and making it in the society. But a lot of the men that even can make it to that bare minimum can't go beyond that because they don't have the training within them. Nobody trained them. Yeah, so I was just having the thought about how, like, literally like animals, and I always say this to my friends about men when they're kind of complaining about like why they don't behave like women in the sense of like being considerate and understanding and doing things without even having to be asked, like just having that like common sense consideration. And I know people have met the loves of their lives and it's great, but like it's just not my path. I know it's not my path, and okay, enough blabbering. I have to go to the gym.